Hi, I'm Jordan North and welcome to a new series I very originally called Kit Convo, all about photography and video kit and how it works. And today we're going to be looking at aperture, and unlike aperture science, I wholeheartedly promise there will be cake at the end. So starting with the basics, what does aperture actually mean? Well, the literal definition is an opening, hole or gap. In photography and video terms, this translates to an adjustable hole in the lens. This hole is made up of several blades and affects how much light can get to the sensor or film. The size of the hole can be adjusted by turning the aperture ring, which on most lenses is the one nearest the camera body. If you look at the lens itself, you'll see a series of numbers, which is a measurement of the size of the aperture. On photography lenses, this is called the f-stop, and on cinema lenses, it's called the t-stop. But today we'll be focusing on f-stop, because if you can afford a cinema lens, you probably know the differences in how it all works anyway. F-stop is a measure of the focal length of the lens relative to the size of the aperture and how much light it lets through. And just to make it confusing, not only is it measured in fractions, but it also feels like it's backwards, as the larger the number, the smaller the aperture and the less light can get to the sensor. An easier way to imagine it could be to think of the aperture as a light dam. The lower the number, the lower the dam gate is, letting more light flow through. And the higher the number, the higher the dam gate is, letting less light flow through. The aperture also affects the depth of field, or how blurry the image is. So if you want a super sharp image from the foreground to the background, you should shoot with a higher f-stop. But if you wanted a more dreamy, cinematic look, you'd shoot with a lower f-stop. But honestly, it's really up to you and depends what you're shooting. Anyway, that wraps up this episode here. I'll go into aperture and possibly t-stops in future videos, as this video would be way too long if I went into all that nitty-gritty here. Let me know in the comments down below what you'd like me to cover in future episodes in this series. Also, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell button so you're notified when the next video comes out next week. If you're looking for something else to watch, check out the film photography series also on this channel, where myself and my wife muck about with all kinds of different cameras and go on photography adventures. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll teach you more next week.